everyone, I'm Destroyer Mariko, and in today's video we're going to be looking at some of Punk Rave Australia's accessories. But before we get into that, I do need to let you know that all the items today were sent to me as a gift, but I'll always give you my honest opinion in every review. So here we are on the Punk Rave Australia website with the first of 3 accessories that we're going to be looking at today. This is the heavy metal over-the-shoulder waist harness bag, the fabric version. Because there are 2 versions, I'll show you the other one next. Just quickly going down to the description, so the ladies' heavy metal over-the-shoulder waist harness bag is made from black pressed cotton and washing process application. The shoulder bag comes in 2 styles, fabric or leather, and has 2 fully detachable components, main shoulder strap and main bag. Large metal bag with smaller bags either side, high-grade metal lobster clips, press buttons and eyelets adorn. Waist belt is adjustable, as is inner thigh belt. 2 styles available, fabric or leather. So let's take a closer look, and we've got the strap going this way, the belt here, and then the bag, which, yeah, I'm excited. It's pretty cool. You can see a bit more from the side there. Yeah, I think this is a great way to sort of spice things up a little bit, and yeah, this is interesting. Here, you can see that she's got no shoulder strap, so that's part of the adjustable thing. So you can actually change it and change your look, which, like, I'm keen to have a go. And if you see here, so you can sort of see in the shadow in the back, she's wearing it that way, but you can also wear it that way because it has these clips, and so you can just sort of move things around to suit what kind of look you're after. I think that's really cool. It's a really exciting item. Again, from the side on the mannequin and the back. And yeah, you can see the little leg strap we can have a play with, see what size that is. Because this item doesn't really have a size, but yeah, it sort of goes around there. I'll show you in the next page when we get up to it. You don't have to do the leg strap either. Here's a closer look at the main bags. Yeah, so lots of little components for all your stuff. And then I think this is the little bag that goes on the shoulder strap. So yeah, quick access, I guess. The buckles, more little buckles. And this is sort of an outfit suggestion. And I think that's the last one. Yeah, okay, so let's scoot across to the leather version. And so the main difference in the description is it's made from black pressed PU leather. And I'll just show you quickly this picture here. I'm pretty sure... maybe if we get a zoomed out one. Okay, yeah, so here, because she's wearing a dress, like, obviously you can't do the leg strap, and it sort of just hangs down there. And I actually think that still looks pretty cool. Like, you don't have to use all the bits just because they're there. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really flexible one to have some fun with. So, that's the first item. We're doing the fabric version of that bag. The next items I'm really excited about because... Teddies! I was so excited when I saw Punk Rave Australia had these, and like when we were organizing these reviews I was like, oh my gosh, can I have the Teddies? And they said yes, and yeah, I'm really happy they took that on board. So this is the first Teddy. It's the cute punk brown bear, and in the description is made from high quality PU leather and furry brown fabric. Punk spiked rivets decorate face mask / hat, removable and adjustable PU leather iron belt buckle, PU leather punk vest, high quality clip. You can wear this cute little bear with any of your punk rave outfits. Totally cute. Available in black and brown. Oh my god. So yeah, that little buckle, I guess, is removable. I don't think I would take it off because it looks so cute wearing his own little leather vest. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is in from the side and the back. Oh my god, he's so cute. And yeah, this is a way that you can wear it on a skirt like that. Or, you know, the bags have those little eyelets, so it's perfect match for these. Oh my god, the little goggles, they're so cute. And there's a little clip. Yeah, and this is sort of like a suggestion for some other accessories. Yeah, some fun stuff, fluffy things and all that. But no, we're just looking at the Teddies. They have this sort of size chart thingy, which isn't really relevant, but the main thing is he's a 13 centimeter bear. And how they've measured that. Anyway, so that's the brown bear, and we'll skip across to the black bear. So, very similar. I think the description's basically the same, just, you know, black rather than brown. We'll have a look. So, main differences, obviously because he's a black bear, there's less contrast between him and the leather jacket, but otherwise the design's basically the same. Harder to see the smile, but, you know, maybe you don't want an obvious smiling bear, it's up to you. But he's really cute as well. Oh my goodness. I love it. And yeah, one of the things about contrast, so if you're only looking to get one bear, I'm getting two bears, but if you only wanted one, you know, think about your style. If you're into this more brown steampunk style, maybe you'd go for the black for a bit of contrast, although they both contrast pretty well. But maybe the little brown guy stands out better if your outfit is mostly black. But yeah, we got the same sorts of details on him, and yeah, that same picture. So those are the items, two little bears and that bag. Alright, so here's the little bags that they come in. Obviously they didn't ship like this. Punk Rave Australia actually sent me all the items for 4 reviews in one go, and that was 2 reviews ago, so if you want to see the unboxing, look for the one that says Night Elf Outfit. But just to recap, this one, the bag is currently shipping from Australia, and that came in one of the Australia Post satchels. And these little guys are currently shipping from China, and they came together in a big box that was really taped well together. And as for the shipping times, so obviously the Australia Post one came sooner because it's already in Australia. That took a few days, whereas the ones from China took about a week, so it was pretty fast. Okay, so let's start opening them, and we'll start with the bag. Yeah! Bit of tissue paper and silica. All right, so here we are, and I guess let's start with the fabric. So yeah, it's that sort of thick fabric-y kind of feel. In most places it's doubled over. The main places it's not doubled is like inside to make the little pockets. And the fabric's pretty uniform, so it's also used for this little loop that goes on the leg strap. As for all the metal bits, they're really solid, and they're also not like a full-on bright shiny color. They've got a little bit of a, I don't know, almost steampunky kind of vibe, but not full-on, like they're not brown colored. You can tell they're silver, but they're like a dark silver. Now there's a lot of these clips all around it for your customization, and they're really solid. Like when I push that, it's actually got a decent pushback on it. We've also got these, which are really solid, and this one, it moves really nicely. And then here's a bunch of the eyelets. So we've got some small ones and some big ones. These big ones are only on that belt section, and then this is the rest of the belt section, and then this is the shoulder strap. Coming down more to the bag section, so we've got 2 clips on this side and 3 clips on this side, which is really interesting. It sort of breaks up that predictable symmetry. And around the back, we've got 2 more buckles, and as you can see, there's actually like heaps of room for adjusting, so they should fit a lot of different sizes. As for the bags, now as you can see, there's 4 main compartments. This is the bag on the shoulder strap. He's got a button. Now there's not a huge amount of space in here, so I guess it's a bit more for show. Maybe you could put some coins or notes or like a mini bottle of hand sanitizer, lip gloss, I don't know, but you're only going to be putting small items in there. Now a hidden feature of this is he's actually removable. It just hooks into these 2 little things here. As for the main bag section, so those little bags are not removable. This is the rear side of the bag, and as you can see, it's just one big bit of fabric and they're all sewn onto it. Now these little bags are very similar to the one that's on the shoulder strap. The main difference is they don't have this cute little bit of fabric that just goes across as an extra decoration. Once again, they're quite small, and I think they're actually ever so slightly smaller than the one on the shoulder strap. So again, you're only going to be putting small items in there. And then here's just a closer look at how it's connected to the fabric there. As for the main bag, so we've got this one big button here. Underneath that, you've got these little decorations here, which are pretty cute. This compartment in here is pretty flat, so I'd probably be putting in, say, my public transport cards and things in there. Moving on from that front compartment, we've also got the main compartment. And you get into that pocket with this zip, and I've noticed with Punk Rave Australia's stuff, all the zippers they use, they're really solid, they move really nicely, and yeah, they don't feel like they're gonna break too easily. Now this is definitely the compartment you'll be using the most. It's got the most space. The lining in it is very similar to the outside, but it's a little bit smoother. At least I think it's smoother. It's a bit hard to tell the difference because they're such similar fabrics. It's a bit hard to show on camera, but maybe you can see here it has a slightly more of a texture, and in here, yeah, it's a bit smoother. It's not shiny or anything though. It's that same matte kind of fabric. Now it's just occurred to me in terms of showing you the size of the pocket, my hand, like, you know, goes in that far, but my hand might not be the same size as your hand. So I've got my trusty ruler. So along this way, it's about 15 centimeters. Across that way, it's about 13 centimeters. And then the depth is about 5 centimeters. Sorry about holding it upside down. It's just a bit easier to show you things. But if those dimensions are slightly smaller than what you need, you can get away with a little bit of extra wiggle room because it is made out of fabric. So it will sort of, you know, the shape will mold around just a little bit. Now for maybe a more practical demonstration of the size of it, so I just went and grabbed my wallet. I know it's really old, I probably need to get a new one, but I just love the layout. I've had this since high school, I think. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, fits really nicely in there. Now, one thing that's not going to fit so easily in here is my phone, because I actually have one of those really big chunky phones and I put a really big chunky case on it. I can't show you that because I'm filming on it at the moment, but I do have the little holster that the case came with, and when I put that in there, it just fits because there's enough space at the top to like sort of, you know, mold around it, as I was saying. But with that, you're not really going to fit a whole lot extra in there without like some weird bulges and stuff. So yeah, my phone, I could fit it in there, but I probably won't. What I'm actually gonna do though, because it has this little holster clip, ta-da! So yeah, that's the cool thing, is you can add stuff to this belt really easily. So I think we've covered the main stuff about the bag. Let's move on to the leg strap. And once again, as you can see, there's lots of little adjustments, so this should fit a wide variety of sizes. Let's move on to the teddies. Yeah. Now there's no tissue paper that comes out with this guy, but I did notice 2 silica packets, so keep an eye on them. Oh my gosh, isn't he a cutie? Let's open his friend so we can have a look at them together. Oh my gosh, aren't they adorable? Okay, so these guys are mostly identical, so I think we'll use the brown bear to look at the details, just because the contrast between the elements is a lot easier to see, especially with the lighting today not being so great for my camera. So the first thing I always notice with like little teddies and stuff is the face. If you've ever been to like a toy shop and had a look, just like variations in the sewing and so on can give them slightly different facial expressions. One thing I notice with both these guys is they're both looking in this direction. I'm not sure if all of them are going to be looking in this direction, but with both of them kind of looking off to the right, maybe that's an intentional choice. It's a little bit hard to show you on a camera, but if I put them both on this side, you can see they're sort of looking slightly towards the camera, and if I put them this way, they're looking slightly away. Now what's interesting about that is it might influence what side that you're going to wear them on, and I would say to wear them on my left side, which I think was what the model was wearing on her skirt, on the left side of her skirt, whereas on this side they'd be looking away. And you know, if you're thinking about you're going forwards, you want them to look a little bit forwards. I mean, that's just me, maybe you're different, but I would probably wear these guys on the left. Apart from that though, they are really cute and happy looking. I will say the black one's face looks slightly wonkier, but because he's darker and has less contrast, you don't notice it so much. You know what, the black one actually kind of reminds me of one of my guinea pigs. Oh my gosh! Anyway, I won't get too carried away, but yeah, faces on toys for me are important. I've seen some in some shops where like, you know, one eye will be like super wonky, or the fur will be brushed in such a way that they look kind of angry or whatever, and sometimes it just puts me off if it's not the right kind of face. But yeah, he looks so cute. Hello everyone! Anyway, so moving on to the features, we'll start with his spiky goggles. Now, there are a couple spikes on the side as well, but they're actually black rather than that metallic silver. They're sewn into place just above that black spike, but apart from that, you can kind of move them around a little bit. And it's a little hard to see, but the elements are actually like riveted into place, so they're not glued on, they're actually properly put in there. Now, the bits that you can see underneath here, they're the ones that hold in the teardrop sort of shape. The one that holds in the spike is a bit more flush. Just above the goggles, you've got the Keychain Connection, and so you've got one of these clips, and that's got a nice spring to it. Or you can use this loop if you want to do a more permanent connection. Coming down to his jacket, you can see this big buckle here. Now you can undo the buckle, but I wouldn't bother because it has this little bit here that's keeping the jacket on. And I also noticed around the sleeves, it's sort of sewn on. So that jacket is not designed to be taken off. While we're here though, we might as well have a look at this, the fluffy lining that they've got underneath, which I think is really adorable. Like, you know, he doesn't need to stay warm because he's just a teddy, but yeah, they've even put in that extra detail, which I think is so cute. And then on his sleeves, they've got these little studs. Oh my gosh. And here's the back of the bear, and you can see that lining continues all the way around the back, and you can also get a better look. There's only about a centimetre maybe of lining, but that's all you really need to give him that effect. So there you go, there's the 2 little teddies. They're basically the same in details, it's really just a colour difference. But that colour can change the mood. As you can see, this guy, the brown one, he looks a bit happier. Whereas this one, because you can't see the smile so easily, like it is there, just because he's black, it doesn't stand out. So he kind of has more of a shy feeling. So yeah, that might influence your choice as well. Oh my gosh, I got so carried away with how cute they are. I forgot to talk about the fabric. But so the fur, it's not the softest fur, it's a little bit coarser. It's not too coarse though, because he actually feels nice on the skin. I'm not really sure how to describe it, so I guess it's kind of like a middle ground, but you can kind of see, so there's like the short brown on the inside, and then he's got like this extra hair on top, so like there's more layers going on this than like your average toy. Now his nose, I'm not sure if that's cotton thread, but it's some kind of thread, and so it's not shiny, whereas his eyes are shiny. As for his jacket, apart from that fluffy lining, which is actually like nice soft fluffy stuff, I would wear that myself in an item. So the main fabric, like it actually has that sort of leathery look, and it feels kind of soft, and I feel like I've maybe seen it on some other Punk Rave Australia stuff before, so like it's proper clothing kind of fabric rather than toy fabric. This strap also has a bit of a leathery look, but it's overall thicker and tougher. And then the lining on the other side is this sort of soft, maybe suede kind of feeling of lining. And then around the sleeves where he's got these little studs, it's this slightly darker kind of matte fabric. I'm not sure what that is either, but maybe it's sort of like a tougher suede. I have no idea about fabrics, I'm sorry. And then just around here you can see some of the little orange stitches that are used to put him together, and they look really solidly done. Now it's a lot harder to see that on the black one, obviously, because there's no contrast. You can kind of see where it's put together, but you can't see those stitches so easily. And then the last little bit I missed is just the little thing that connects him to the keychain, and it's that sort of shiny kind of fabric that you would normally get on this sort of a thing. Okay, so I think that's all for the teddies. Now that we've finished looking at them, I'm gonna put them on and we'll do some twirls, and I can show you like how we can wear these. All right, so here we are all set up. Now I'm gonna put my measurements on the screen just so you can get an idea of my body size and how it looks on me, but keep in mind that these don't have sizes themselves. So we're gonna do a twirl and I'll do some close-ups so you can get an idea of how you could wear this. Okay, so I hope that gave you some ideas on how you can wear these accessories. Now, I'm mainly going to be focusing on the bag at this point because there's not a whole lot to say about these guys. Maybe if I have anything to say about wearing them is they do kind of bounce around a little bit and might turn the wrong way sometimes. So when you're out, maybe just keep an eye on them and make sure they're behaving. Otherwise, I think they're pretty straightforward because, you know, they're just bears. You can attach them to so many different things. It's really up to you to experiment with that. I do think that in terms of getting them both to stand out at the same time, I got the best effect with that purple skirt. Otherwise, this guy kind of disappears a little bit. But yeah, so I guess it's up to you guys to experiment and see what you like to do with these guys. I don't see too many people in Sydney wearing toys in this sort of style. I think maybe it's more of a Harajuku thing. I do have one friend though who does something similar, and you know, we're gonna look so cute together when we go out. But yeah, I guess that's the main things that I had to say about these little guys. So we'll move on to mainly talking about the bag. So I'll start off with just some quick notes about how I've worn this, and probably the main thing to note is I did put my wallet in here so that you could get a realistic view of what it looks like with some weight in there. And I did that to help show you guys like how it would look in a realistic situation as opposed to just being flat. Another thing to note is that I did decide to put the bag on the right side of me, and the reason for that is I'm right-handed. So if you're thinking about going out practically, I like to have my bag on the right side so that with my right hand I can reach down and just grab out my wallet or whatever it is really easily. If you're left-handed though, obviously you might might feel more comfortable wearing it on the other side, and I think it could work either way. Another thing you probably noticed is with the shoulder strap, I decided to have it from my left side, and that's because of how I wear my usual bag, which doesn't have like a belt or anything to hold it in place. So yeah, it usually goes from left to right, and I just feel more comfortable because that's my usual style. Because yeah, these bear guys, they're actually quite light, so I didn't feel like they really needed that extra support. I thought bag on this side and then have that sort of reinforcing. And I know you could do like everything on one side, but that doesn't really feel balanced either. I mean, you could try it, but I felt like, yeah, spreading it from this shoulder down to that corner just worked out better for me. As for the settings that I had them on, so pretty much every setting I put on the tightest except for that shoulder strap. And for the most part, like, it felt pretty comfortable, but I think the main thing that you might have seen that didn't quite fit me is probably the leg strap. Because yeah, even on the smallest setting, I think you could see there was still quite a lot of space. I measured that part of my leg to be about 41 centimeters around, if that gives you an idea. Keep in mind though, I am one of the smaller sizes. I usually fit into Punk Rave Australia's extra small to small kind of range. For everyone else, I think it'll work really nicely. It's just me being tiny. But then on the upside, it's not really necessary for the look, so I'm not worrying too much about that. As you can see with the skirt, it looks fine just dangling. It also might not be as loose if I wear some thicker pants instead of those tight leggings. But yeah, so that's something to consider if you're smaller and you are wanting that kind of a look. Now, as for the belt bit, as you can see, once again, I've done it at the tightest setting. And oh, something I forgot to mention with the leg strap, like everywhere that you have an adjustment, there's these little bits that help control the rest of the little flyaways. So yeah, it's really good that they've included that. So even if you're small like me, it's not just going to dangle freely. You can still get that kind of a belt look instead of a dangly bits look. One thing to note though, because I am that smaller size and I did have to use the little loops to control the rest of the things, right? When you pull weight, you know, it just comes out. And if you consider that that's exactly where I decided to put the bears, I can't really have that happening, or they'll just pull it out and it'll dangle with the bears on it. So what I did about that is I just put a little safety pin in from those two holes and into the back, and that stops the bears from pulling it out of the loop. Now, I guess that's not ideal because it would be nice if they just stuck there, but I think it's not a bad solution, especially if we're doing the sort of goth punk aesthetic, because safety pins are super old school. So yeah, that was a little bit of fun. Now, if you're not as tiny as me, you're not going to have to worry about that because those holes will come on the other side of the buckle and the buckle doesn't move, so you're not going to have to play with safety pins like that. To just quickly demonstrate, I've made it wider, and as you can see, there's no issue because buckle! So yeah, it's only small fries like me who are gonna have to worry about that loop not holding things in securely enough. Another sizing thing that's kind of interesting is this shoulder strap. So here's the adjustments that I've made, and you'll notice with the smooth bit, I've done that as long as it'll possibly go. And there's two reasons for that. So one reason is if I use the smooth side to make the adjustments, I noticed the bag kept getting stuck on the top of my shoulder instead of coming down a little bit, and I preferred it to be a little bit more down. And then the other reason is I really wanted these bits to be on the front. That's a personal choice though. If you prefer the smooth side, you could easily do it the other way. And what's really cool about this bag being removable is you can actually change which direction it is. So when I first changed to make this the front, it was actually sitting upside down. And so yeah, I just pulled it out, turned it around, and there you go. Cute little customization things depending on exactly how you personally want to wear it. And that brings me to the ways that you can wear it. The customizability really gives you a lot of options to play with, and I've only played with a few different things. But I hope my twirls gave you some ideas. I'm not sure which one's my favorite yet, but I would say I'm probably not going to use the leg strap most of the time just because the size doesn't suit me. But as for the shoulder strap, I think it could go either way. The shoulder strap, it does give you a little bit of extra security, and I guess if you have some particularly heavy stuff in there, maybe it helps spread the weight a little bit more and feel like it's not going to slip down. But you could also wear it without the shoulder strap as more of a belt style of bag, which I was really surprised to see it worked for me. When I first put it on with that tightest setting around the belt, it did feel a little bit loose, but when I pulled down on it, it actually doesn't fall down on my hips. So yeah, it sits securely as well. I think personally it works best on tighter clothes, especially if you're going to use the belt function and the leg strap function function, but you can also just easily wear it as a shoulder bag and not have to worry about those bits. Wearing it purely as a shoulder bag, you will get like a lot of excess dangly bits, but that could be part of your look. And yeah, I think the shoulder bag style is probably best if you're going to be wearing it over outerwear. I mean, you could try using the belt over outerwear, but I don't really feel like that's going to give you the best look, and it might not be practical if you've got a really long coat and you want to have that leg strap. It's not going to really work that way. You want to have it inside the coat. The other thing to note about that is once you've got all the settings right for your body for this bag, it's not the kind of thing that's easy to take on and off, especially if you've got every single thing attached. So if you've got the leg strap done, the belt done, the shoulder strap done, it actually kind of hugs your body a little bit. So if you were wearing it on top of your outerwear and say you got a little bit too hot, then you're going to have to unbuckle a few things to take the bag off before you can take your outerwear off, before you can take off your coats or your jumpers and so on. And so I think that's not so practical, especially if you're going, you know, in and out of cold and warm places. I think definitely having it under your outerwear in that situation would make more sense. And then yeah, I think that's another argument to just use it as a shoulder bag over outerwear, because then it is much easier to just take off. Oh my gosh, there's so many things I could talk about in terms of the ways you can wear it, but yeah, I hope I've given you a good idea. I think really what you have to do if you get one of these is just to experiment and find your own style and what works for you and your body. And I think because it does have a lot of adjustments and options, it's going to fit a lot of body types. I guess it's mainly going to be a question for you if you're smaller than me, because yeah, some things like if you really wanted that leg strap, you probably have to be a little bit bigger than me to really get the most out of it. And yeah, if your hips are skinnier than mine, keep in mind I did have it on the tightest settings. So in that situation, you might be a fair bit more reliant on the shoulder strap to really keep it secure on your body. But if you're larger than me, I think you've got no worries. You're gonna have a really great time playing with it, all the little adjustments, and I think it'll really look good on you. Now, before I do a quick recap, I want to give you the biggest reason that I decided to get this bag, and it's because I like to go to gigs, and when I do, I like to be up the front and I like to be dancing and just rocking out and having a good time. But what always gets me in that situation is I'm never sure what to do with my bag, because I have one of those, you know, big chunky shoulder bags, and sometimes it gets in the way, and sometimes it just doesn't look good because it's not like a gothic alternative item, it's just a black bag that I got from some random shop. And so like in terms of comfort and the look of it and all that, I'm never really sure what to do with my bag. Sometimes I'll put it on the ground and just sort of dance over the top of it. Sometimes I'll just wear it and just put up with it and all that. And so with this Punk Rave Australia bag, one of my motivations is like you can actually incorporate it into your outfit and it feels natural. And it also does have that extra security of the belt section and the shoulder strap and the leg strap if you're going to use it. So when you're dancing around like that, it's not just going to be swinging around wildly, it's actually going to like stay there on your body where it's supposed to be. Also, I will say that there's not as much space in this bag compared to the bag that I usually have, but I think if I'm going out gigging, I probably don't want to take all that extra stuff. Like, you know, sometimes I'll take my glasses case or whatever, but if I'm going out, I don't really need that. I can leave it at home. So I just take the essentials. I take my wallet, my cards, all that kind of stuff. And then yeah, I have some incentive to like scale down because I'm the kind of person who carries too much stuff everywhere. So this gives me some incentive to just control myself. Anyway, so that was just some of my thoughts on like when I was looking at the bag on the website. I was like, gee, that'd be really good for this particular situation I find myself in. And now I just have to wait for a gig to come up that I want to go to and test that out, assuming that restrictions allow me to dance. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, that's the hope. Okay, so to recap, size, it's a little bit big for me in some aspects, but overall fits me really nicely. And if you're a larger size than me, it's going to be absolutely perfect. Now the fabric I didn't really notice while I was wearing because I'm wearing it over clothes. Maybe you would notice if you're wearing over shorts with that leg strap, but it's that really nice Punk Rave Australia material, so you're not going to have any issues with that. And then I'd say the major feature of this bag is its customizability, because there's just so many options and so many things to play with and experiment with. And I mean, if you really wanted to get creative, you could actually take that whole bag off and attach it to something else if you wanted to. Or you could use the shoulder strap for something else. Or, and this is a bit of a crazier one, but maybe you could attach the shoulder strap directly to the bag without the belt bit. Like, there's so many things you could do with it. You could also wear the belt bit just as a belt. You could take it off the shoulder strap in the bag. Like, there's so many options, so many things to play with. And so yeah, I think that's fun. One of the reasons that I wanted to do a video about accessories is actually because, you know, things like this can give you so many extra options for like your regular outfit. You know, like it's just a way to spice things up. And I'd say that's especially true for these little bear dudes. You know, if you want a quick way to just add something extra, some extra little interesting features, or if you want to make your outfit just that little bit more cute, I think these guys are a really great way to do it. You know, you don't need to change your whole outfit. You can just add one or two of these little guys and it changes the vibe instantly. So yeah, I think that's everything. I'm really happy with these items. I think they're really detailed, they're really cute, there's some really cool ideas going on, lots of options for you. I hope you enjoyed this video and looking at these items, and I hope it was helpful for you if you were thinking of buying any of them. Now, if you are thinking of getting them, remember there's going to be a discount, 20% off in the first 30 days after it goes live on my channel and also the Punk Rave Australia channel. And I do believe that discount is applied automatically when you put it into your shopping cart, so you don't need to remember any codes or anything. Thanks as always to Punk Rave Australia for sending me these items, and I'm particularly thrilled with this one because when I suggested like, hey, we haven't done an accessories video, maybe we should, and can I please have those adorable little bears, they were really supportive of my ideas. So yeah, it's really fun working with them. Now if you did enjoy this video, please give us a like, share, comment, subscribe. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time when we have a look at this one. It's the first item we're going to be looking at from the new Daily Life range, so that's going to be pretty exciting. I'll see you then, guys.